guys, Fox Protocol Mining here, coming at you from the Fox Den with a new video here. In this video, I am going to cover how to select a mining pool, what are some different factors that go into it, and why it functions the way that it does. So, noob question might be, why don't we just all mine on the number one pool, catch all the rewards, cash out and make more money? Well, in a nutshell, the reason that we don't want to do that is because proof of work gets its security from people double checking other people. So if everyone's mining on the same pool, we're all mining to the same computer essentially, then that computer has full control over the blockchain. It can create tokens, it can make fake transactions, it can spend your money. That's not good. We don't want that to happen. So what do? We make sure that we decentralize the hash rate. So now we have all of these computers constantly double checking each other's work and struggling to find a consensus. And in that consensus, we have security because we have so many computers double checking one another all the time, and it just makes sure that your asset remains safe and that the value doesn't get abused. Nobody can steal your money. So that's something to look for when selecting a pool, is you may not always want to jump into the largest pool on the network. Another thing to consider is where the pool is located. If you see a globe here, that means that the pool has ports in pretty much generally every major continent. If they do not, you will see a specific flag that dictates where they're based out of. So we have Germany, China, the United States. I know occasionally we'll get there's Poland, the Netherlands. You'll see different countries, but globe just means that you can access it from multiple countries, multiple continents. So ideally you want to find a pool that's close to you, just for the simple fact that if you find a pool that's close to you, you'll get a better connection. Better connection means less stale shares, so you're getting paid for more of your work. Now, speaking of payments, when you're getting paid as a miner, you want to make sure that you are retaining as much of that money as possible. So every pool has a fee or cost of operation. There are exceptions to this, like if you're using HiveOS. Through the HiveOS pool, you can actually mine without a fee. Now if you're mining on Windows or you're mining on another platform, that can be different for you. I know RaveOS users, for example, can use the 2 miner pools, which are down here. So quick recap on that is, don't always jump into the number one pool. Check to make sure that you're getting into a pool that's local to you, and keep in mind of what you're paying the pool, because this is coming off of your bottom line. It's 1.5%, 1%. It's a pretty low amount. I mean, so some people just, they don't pay attention to it, but I like to catch every bit of the money that I am entitled to. So I try to pay attention to my fees. 1% is usually the standard, so I try to keep that in mind. Now, you'll also notice when you're looking at pool fees that there are some letters underneath there. Each of those letters refers to a different type of payment system. PPS is one of the more common payment methods. That just simply means pay per share, which means that even if the pool doesn't get a reward, meaning they don't find a block, you will still get a payment because you are being paid by the pool for every successful share that you submit to the pool. Now if you see a plus after that, that means that they're also dicing up the transaction fees from the blocks, and you're getting paid a base share amount for Ethereum. It's 2 ETH per block, and then the plus means that any transaction fees up and above that are also being accounted in what you're being paid per share. So that has some advantages and some disadvantages. Advantages being if you're in a smaller pool that maybe it's not finding a block on a regular basis, like it's getting a block every 2-3 days, and you want to see a daily payment, a pay per share system might be more for you because that ensures that you're getting paid and you're being paid by the pool. The pool earns the blocks and then continues to pay its miners. If you see a PPLNS, you are looking at a pay per the last number of shares, which means the credit is in a predefined window to stop paying when a block is found. So essentially, every time the pool finds a block, it will select a random number or a predefined number of shares, and it will backdate those shares and pay that block reward for a certain number of shares only. Now, this does have a drawback of maybe any shares that are not in this window are not being paid. So the proportion of payment changes slightly depending on what your current hash rate is at the time, things like that. Now, that might sound ridiculous to some people, but the idea behind this is to keep people from pool hopping, meaning jumping from one pool to another pool to another pool to accumulate a large number of shares on multiple pools and getting a larger payout. This requires you to be connected to the pool when a block is found, assuming that your hash rate is steady. When they back up the number of shares, you will have a predefined number, and that is what you will get paid. So it has its benefits, it has its drawbacks, because this is a system that pays really well in the event of a block being found. Whereas pay per share will benefit people more, not necessarily benefit people more, but it will make more sense for smaller pools who still want to attract miners, because the miner is still getting paid regardless if the pool gets paid or not. You may also occasionally and rarely see prop or proportional, which essentially just means that there's one right here, your total number of shares will be equally divided every time a block is found, and the more hash rate you have essentially means the bigger your payout will be. This might work out better for larger miners. Smaller miners probably won't see a very large payout under a system like that, just simply because you're still waiting for a block to hit and you're not getting paid until a block is hit, and then you're only getting paid a small amount when that happens. So keep that in mind as well. So if you're targeting a smaller pool and you're not mining solo, which means by yourself, I would probably look for a payment system that is somewhere in the pay per share region, because that will probably guarantee you a more consistent payout. But realistically, it boils down to what kind of tolerance you have for the payouts that you're wanting to receive. If you're a larger miner, solo mining might be for you. On Ethereum, I probably wouldn't solo mine unless you have a considerable amount of hashing power, because otherwise you're just not going to find a block very frequently. For example, this pool has 120 gigahash, and its last block was 6 hours ago. This pool's 30 gigahash, and it's been 38 hours since they found a block. 15 gigahash. You got 3 days on a block. So there's a lot of factors that you want to look at when you're choosing a pool. How frequently you want to see a payout, what the fees for the pool are, how it's paying you, and where it's located in the world. So there's quite a few different factors to think about when you're picking a pool. It just boils down to what you're looking for specifically and how much hashing power you have. For those of you guys who are using like a part-time gaming rig, you're going to want to find a pool that has a, like a low payout, especially if you're mining Ethereum, because it's going to take you a while to accumulate. If you're pointing maybe 30 mega hash at this, like on a single card, it's going to take you several days to accumulate that minimum payout. Could take you weeks if you go for a higher payout. So, but there's advantages and disadvantages to that. Every time you get a payout, you pay a transaction fee, so that comes out of your bottom line as well. So, like I said, there's a lot of things that go into exactly what you need to look for. Frequency of payout, what your tolerance is for fees. I just want to go over, I'm currently mining on Ethermine. That's where I point all my Ethereum rigs, and it's a PPLNS system at 1%. I haven't had a problem with that particular payout. I have used the PPS Plus, and I haven't seen a big noticeable difference between the two. You will see now on Ethereum that the MEV profit pools are now being shown. Basically what that means is that any MEV profits that the pool makes are distributed to the miners. If you don't see that, that doesn't necessarily mean you're not getting the MEV, but it might be the case that you might not be getting it. So if you're recently into the scene and you want to take advantage of a little extra profiteering, then you may want to select a pool that is incorporating MEV into the miner rewards. So that's it in a nutshell, guys. How to pick a profitable pool. If you guys have questions about this, maybe I missed something, some criticism, I would appreciate that greatly. I don't think I missed anything necessarily, but I'm always happy to get a little bit of criticism, guys, so let me know down in the comments. I do have a link to miningpoolstats.stream down in the description for this video, so hit me up, guys. I appreciate it. This is the Fox Den signing off.